morning, and thank you for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be covering the NFL Draft, last night NBA playoff games, and make sure that you guys stick around for later in the show. We will be diving into our Florida Man stories for the week. Before we start, I wanted to ask that you guys like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions for the viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. The tips and donation link is gsmcpodcast.net. This just puts your question at the top of the list so I can see it, and it also really helps the show.
Hello, Miss.
Hello. Hello, Jay. I sound so pathetic. I'm so sorry.
You're playing a little injured, but you got this, no
Yeah.
problem. So Faith has a little bit of a cold today. I don't know is it allergies or is it a cold?
Okay, so I thought it was allergies. So I was telling Tate on Wednesday, my boyfriend and I were cleaning out his back patio because I'm moving in a couple months, so we're trying to get his place ready for me to move into. And the patio was an absolute disaster, so we had to do
Well,
that. And so I definitely spent like 2 or 3 hours outside cleaning the patio because I'm a clean freak. So I was scrubbing the door frames and everything like that. And I thought it was just like the pollen getting to me. But I've noticed since Wednesday it's been getting progressively worse. And I have had strep throat before, and I feel like this is coming to be strep throat. So fun
I hope
times.
cross fingers that it's not strep throat, but
Yeah.
it is a big news. You letting us in on a little crack in the door in the life of Faith. Faith is moving in, making it move in official.
Move in official, yes. I mean, I basically already live here though.
But no. There's a difference between,
Yeah.
hey, I'm hanging out here every day, than
No,
this is my residence.
I still have my apartment right now, but in July I'll be moving in officially, so we're trying to get everything cleaned up and nice for Faith to get moved into.
That's awesome.
So,
Congratulations.
thank you.
For a few of our viewers, I think they're all sad to get this news.
I do
But
want to apologize to our viewers today and our listeners. I apologize for how I sound and how I look, because I don't look that great either. So, apologies for that.
no, you're doing good. And then there's me. I'm in a sweater today.
Yeah.
It was what, 80 degrees, yeah, I think yesterday, and today it's going to be it's in the 60s. So
And you're wearing a
yeah.
sweater? I wear short sleeve when it's 60. That's
That's because you live in the frozen tundras of Georgia. That sounds so funny.
We do not live in the frozen tundras. We live in the scalding hot,
I know.
burning
I'm just
fires.
I am just a wimp when it comes to cold weather.
Mm,
So, yes,
yeah.
I'm throwing on a sweater today. I'm the only one. There's people walking around here in bikinis and I'm in a sweater.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with me. Ooh, Miss Faith, you know what? People don't realize sometimes it's great doing the show,
Hmm.
but on days like today, it can be tough.
Yeah.
And the reason why that is you're doing a sports show,
Hmm.
but there's three NBA games that you have to watch.
Yeah.
That's like 3 hours each.
Hmm.
There's an an NFL draft that you have to prepare for, and that's hours upon hours there.
Hmm.
And you're like, whoa, there's not enough time for everything.
No. I've always said that, like, 24 hours is not enough time in a day.
I know. See,
I need
that's
more
why
hours.
I am pro this whole, and I know we're eating up extra time so today, but the whole proposal of the work week being into 4 days a week
Hmm.
in the US, I think that's a good move.
I
Have
think so.
everybody, instead of 8 hour days, everyone work 10-hour days.
Hmm.
four tens, but everyone gets that, when you leave on Thursday, you got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off.
Mm,
That would be awesome.
yeah.
More hours to do more things in. I already work 16 hours a day anyway. But I'm just saying, just in general, just overall uh efficient. You get more work done
Mm,
when you're working because you can get those hours in, but you still get that 3-day weekend, which
yeah.
everyone should be living for.
Yes.
I'm a pro with that one. So, all right. So let's dive in here and let's talk
Yeah.
about some NFL draft. What's going on?
Okay. So, the part of the NFL draft happened last night. So the Chicago Bears selected quarterback Caleb Williams of USC with the first pick in the 2024 NFL draft to start a run of 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks. The first round wrapped up on Thursday night, which was last night, with a record 23 offensive players drafted among the 32 picks. Rounds 2 and 3 are on Friday, with rounds 4 and 7 on Saturday. So basically, what I thought we would do is we would just kind of go down the list of round 1, and we can talk about who drafted who and how we think that's gonna work out for this season. If that's good with you.
I would even make it easier because there's way too many
Yeah, I
players. We
know.
don't have every one of them. And I don't, and I'm gonna be honest with you. When you ask me about an offensive lineman from, I don't know, Billy Bob University High, I'm not gonna know. I'm gonna be like, who the heck is that?
No, we
So
won't have enough time to go down the entire line because there were
I was gonna
32.
touch on some of the bigger name guys
Yeah.
in the draft and just kind of go down
Okay.
real quick. I think that's the better one because I watch a lot of college football. I'm the weird guy to watch the coaches film, which allows me to watch the game a lot faster. So I watch
Mm-hmm.
all the major games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go down and just kind of give my thoughts on a few of these, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. Um. So
So
number one pick was, I'm sure we'll definitely be talking about this, Caleb Williams. So Caleb Williams was the first round pick. He was a quarterback from USC, and he was drafted by the Chicago Bears.
Now, Caleb Williams, that was an easy no-brainer. The
Mm-hmm.
only problem that was like this was the worst kept secret there is.
Yeah.
Everyone knew Caleb Williams was going to go to the Chicago Bears. The only question at one point in time with Caleb Williams was would him and his family want to go to Chicago? Would he
Mm-hmm.
put up a stink and say, "Hey, I don't want to go to Chicago because Chicago does not have a history of drafting great quarterbacks." Matter of fact, they've never really had a great quarterback
Mm-hmm.
ever. They've had some decent quarterbacks, but nothing, no like blockbuster Hall of Fame quarterback in the modern era.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the thing with Caleb Williams is a lot of people compare him to Patrick Mahomes as far as leading an offense. He was top 5 in passing. I mean, he has all the tools. Some of the concerns with him is some people say he plays a little too much. He can play a little hero ball, meaning he's so talented that sometimes he will try to extend the play instead of saying, you know what, we need to get rid of this. He's going to try to make things happen. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem that a lot of quarterbacks have coming in. They're so used to using their athleticism and their skills to be so much better than everyone else that they can what they call hero ball and make things happen. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's incredibly accurate on the move. Concerned about his height as far as in the NFL, but Kyler Murray showing his success. He's not Kyler Murray short, but shorter quarterbacks have been able to show that they can perform. The Russell Wilsons, the Kyler Murrays of the world. So he's a great I mean that's a no brainer pick. Let's move on to the Washington Commanders at number two.
Yes, so the Washington Commanders had the second pick, and they drafted Jaden Daniels, who was a quarterback from LSU.
Now, I was a little surprised on this one. I had it flipped. I thought that they were going to go with Drake May.
Mm,
Uh, I had Daniels a little bit lower on my pick.
mm,
My board, I had Caleb Williams as my number one quarterback. I had
mm,
Jaden Daniels as my number five quarterback.
mm,
Um, Again, another dual threat quarterback, an elite runner, big arm. Can does incredibly well with the deep threat. He's going to be that dynamic guy that if you're a fantasy football guy, Jaden Daniels is your man because he's
mm,
going to get you offensive yards rushing. He's going to throw big plays offensively. He's a just the deep threat. He throws an incredible deep ball. Um, but the fact that he's so confident with his legs, he can get sacked a lot.
mm,
And the NFL, the players are that much faster, the schemes are that much more complex. That's where I see him having troubles is adjusting from being more athletic than everyone else and now coming into the NFL, holding on to that ball a little too long could cause some major problems for him. Smart. I like the pick. I don't know if I would have taken him at number two. Like I said, I had him at number five. I thought Drake May would have been a better pick for them, but you know, it's that's the command. The Commanders made their pick. Let's move on to number three, the New England Patriots.
Yeah, so the New England Patriots had the third pick, and they drafted Drake May, who is a quarterback from North Carolina.
Okay, Drake May. I had him as my number three quarterback. Um, I have to adjust to talking about New England. When I think of New England, I'm like, this is not a place that you want to send a young quarterback to. Thinking about Mac Jones, but this is not the same New England. This is not the Bill Belichick New England Patriots. This is a brand
Mm,
new organization. So I don't quite know how that's going to affect them. I feel like right now they have Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback. Drake May is only 21 years old. Wouldn't that be nice? 21 years old and you got tens of millions of dollars coming to
heck
you.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Um, Many people, there's a number of people thought he was the best quarterback in this draft.
Mm,
Um, Proficient throwing the deep ball, uh, especially on throws 20 yards or more. He threw for 4,321 yards last year with 38 touchdowns. Uh, Things you can do. If you put pressure on him, you can shake him up. Uh, that's the key. Can he handle NFL pressure? Under pressure, that's when his accuracy, he starts having issues with his accuracy. Uh, I do like the pick if they don't rush him to be the starter. If
mm,
you say this year, Jacoby Brissett is our starting quarterback, and then we're going to roll into Drake May next year, I love that fact. I don't think that's what will happen. I could easily see them three or four or five games and then going over and turn it over to Drake May. That's what a lot of teams end up doing. And a lot of times I think it's a big mistake.
mm.
So we're gonna go to number four.
Uh,
We're rapid fire here. This
okay. So number four, Arizona Cardinals had the pick with Harrison Jr., who is a wide receiver from Ohio State.
okay. Marvin Harrison Jr. Pretty much a consensus pick is he's the best wide receiver in the nation
Mm-hmm.
coming out of college football. I don't know if I would say I don't know. I think Neighbors is a more dynamic, bigger playmaker, but pound for pound, best wide receiver in the game is Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State. Ohio State, incredibly talented. Um, Man, I was looking at the grade they gave. Yahoo Sports gave it an A+ pick. I'm gonna give it. I agree with them. That's an A+ pick there. If you're not gonna go if you're not gonna go with um if you're not gonna go and say we're gonna move forward with a new quarterback, then and we're gonna stay with Kyler Murray, then I think you need to get him a weapon. Is it something that you want to say, Miss Faith?
Sorry, I forgot that Brock Bowers was going into the draft this year, and I saw his name. I just glanced over at this list and I saw his name on the list. That's so sad. I'm so upset.
I'm like, okay, you got something to contribute here. What's going
I
on? Okay.
love Brock Bowers. I forgot he's
Oh, you should.
leaving.
You should have loved him. That's a big loss for Georgia. I think we'll be talking about him a little bit. Let's go to number 5 and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay, so yes, the Los Angeles Chargers had the number 5 pick, and they drafted Joe Alt, who is from Notre Dame. Yeah.
Okay. I picked this one to cover because this is a Jim Harbaugh pick.
Mm-hmm.
It totally made sense to me.
Mm.
Chargers needed wide receivers. And a lot of people thought Napier was gonna be for out of LSU, the no-brainer pick for the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for people that do not understand Jim Harbaugh. Um, Harbaugh wants to, one, establish the run, protect Justin Herbert. And so the only thing about Joe Alt is a left tackle. They already have an all-pro left tackle, which to me means they're going to be moving Alt to the right tackle position.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking that they're prepared to, or if they're going to move Slayer, who is their all-pro left tackle, are they going to move him right? But one of these two guys are going to have to play right tackle, and so that's going to be interesting. There's still room to get a wide receiver later on in the draft, or maybe make a move to pick up some wide receivers. When you look at Justin Herbert and you're saying you have your quarterback for the next decade, making sure you have your right and left tackles taken care of for the next decade as well is incredibly smart.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Harbaugh wants to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It adds depth to that left tackle position as well. If Slayer goes down, you can move Alt back to the left tackle. I think it's a really good move.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know we're only on the 6th pick, and
Yes.
I'm not going to try to make you you're the traffic cop on the show, but I was going to suggest going
Yeah.
to break now and
Yes.
then coming back and hitting this a little,
Mm-hmm.
finishing up because we're right at pick number 6, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of picks left.
That's good with me. Alrighty, guys. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be discussing more about the NFL draft, so make sure you guys stick around, and we will be back in a minute.